people with disabilities and people in aboriginal groups, that internet security does not cover the whole spectrum of security. There still are a lot of security problems in terms of physical transactions that sometimes get overlooked when everything seems to become digital. What I'm going to be talking about in this presentation is that we're going to be concentrating on the user's perspective, the customer's perspective in terms of internet banking. And this is part of a project on smart internet technology to which Margaret and I and Nicholas Sophia from the University of Wollongong will belong. I'm not arguing that technology is not important, but what I am arguing is that from the user's perspective, the perception of internet banking security has moved into technology. It's sort of in the background. But a lot of people don't understand the technology, and they know that they don't understand it enough to control it. So what they focus on is ease of use, convenience, the ability to personalize it to their own needs and trust. So if we want to increase the perception of security, yes, the technology is very important. I would not trust the technology if all the money in my account vanished overnight. But if that doesn't happen to me, and I find it convenient, I'm more likely to try and say I'm not thinking of the security. I can't do very much about it. I do what I can about it, try and use a secure computer, try and not give my password. But that too, the whole issue of the password is a bit of social blindness on the banking side, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. There is a tussle here. Increasingly, for banks, internet banking is becoming central to their business model. And yet when you talk, particularly to an audience like this, you know that there is no possibility of perfect security, particularly for a PC that is used for network transactions. And all the technologists will swear to that. Yet the banks don't particularly want people like me to know about that. They don't want to say that it's secure, but they don't want to tell you that it's insecure. But unlike the credit cards, there's a legislative gray area. They don't say that you only lose $50 if you do it the right way. Actually, they don't say very much at all. And apparently, National Australia Bank has settled in a case for $10,000 went missing from a customer's account when he used an internet cafe. But that was not made public, and I couldn't find any reference to it on the internet. I only got it out of a paper presented to a security conference. There is a case for the first time in Florida where a small, medium-sized enterprise is suing the Bank of America because it lost $90,000 out of its account. The Bank of America is saying it was your computer that did it, and you had a Trojan horse on it. And the SME is saying that really it is the bank's, the bank's duty to be protecting it. So it's very interesting. All of us are looking at that case to see what's going to happen to your rights and mine. What we've done is actually go and talk to people. What I'm going to be talking about is based on 64 people in Melbourne and Brisbane in the last few months. And we're going to be doing more than 80 and 6 focus groups, and we're also going to be doing a national quantitative study. In conversations with technologists and policymakers, we have great difficulty because it seems as if we're not talking about the same things. When policymakers and technologists talk about privacy and security, it is to ensure that somebody else does not get our data. When you talk to banks about it, they're really interested only on the issues of compliance. And they see security as a technology issue. When you talk to people about it, they deflect attention away from the technology. And privacy in banking, the absolute greatest ire of customers is that the bank has not kept to the customer's preferences for sharing information. If I have said that I would like to share information on this account with this person and this person, maybe they've gone and shared it with somebody else. And that is, it is the control of the sharing of information and not just the anonymity of the information. Not everybody uses internet banking, and that sometimes gets lost. The people who use the internet banking, they used it because it was convenient, not because they were sure it was secure and private. All of them read the papers too, but the convenience and the ease of use factor overcame or actually pushed to the side concerns about security. Of the people who did not use internet banking because it was not secure, there were only 4. Most of the other 19 people did not use it because it was not useful or they did not have access to the computer. A lot of these are low-income people. Ask some of them, whether some of them had access to the computer, and ask them, do you use internet banking? And they said, well, if you've only got $40 left after a fortnight, you don't really require too much management and monitoring. So it's a very middle class phenomenon, this preoccupation. These are 2 women who wouldn't contemplate being without internet banking. They like the convenience, they like the immediacy. But this is the way they deflect issues. In the beginning, when we just let the conversation flow, privacy and security didn't come in. And then we were pushed by our colleagues, listen, ask about it, ask about it. So towards the end, we ask about it, and they say, yes, but. Yes, but. And they kind of know that it's not completely the right thing to do, but they have risk minimization strategies where they monitor the account. And then the default is they say, well, we trust the bank. And very often the trust in the bank actually rests on credit card management. You lose money on your credit card, and very often the bank satisfies you in putting the money back. And then they say, well, the bank will do the right thing. And some of the people who trust the bank say it's not in the bank's interest not to do the right thing, because the SME in Florida, the Bank of America may win against the SME, but who's going to be using internet banking in the future, of the SMEs? So that is why the banks have kept this very ambiguous. They're not telling you it's not secure, but they're not telling you it's insecure. Privacy policies actually don't seem to have any great importance among the people we talk to. 10 of the 64 glanced at the privacy policy, maybe when they open an account. But basically they feel they can't do anything about it. And the privacy aspects are really about personalization. One thing that we come to realize when talking to people is that the personal account and the joint account no longer are important for access boundaries on the internet. Very often couples may have a personal account and may have joint accounts, but each of them knows each other's access codes. So one of our colleagues actually had a very interesting story. They have a joint account, and her husband is the primary account holder. But but she's the one who does all the banking. She's the one that set up the internet banking account. And her security question is, what is your husband's name? But when they had to change details on the account, the bank has kept to a very hierarchical aspect. The primary account holder that can change the details on the account. So her husband had to telephone. And so they asked him, what's your husband's name? And he sort of paused for a while and then realized what was happening. So there is a very great need for the bank to know what your privacy preferences are. This has become very important with lifestyle changes, with generational and life stage changes. Because very often you find yourself managing your parents' accounts, but perhaps for a limited time. And how are you going to be able to communicate to the bank that this was for 3 months for a short loan? That doesn't mean that your parents' accounts have to come rumbling into you all the time. And this happens more often than we had anticipated. One of the things also that banks have not realized is that people are now making up the rules, as it were, as we go along. This is because the way your parents manage money is no longer a sure template to the way you're going to manage money. And so defining the boundaries of sharing are very important. Now you may define the boundaries very differently. If you were in what was seen as a traditional sequence of events, you got married, you have children, you have a house, and then, to death do us part. But as all the family data will show, this no longer is happening. 72% of people have been in a de facto relationship. Not all of them get married to each other. But our work is showing that in a de facto relationship, unless you have children or a house together, the norm is separate accounts, independent money management and control. You might buy a sofa together, but often the really only joint thing that you have gone into is a cat. So people have moved. If you've been de facto with one person, sometimes the marriage really signals maybe the beginning of a joint account and a home together. It doesn't happen as it usually did before. And when interviewing people of the older generation, you often heard kind of ritual stories. And I know Jennifer talked about the 2 names. But very often people will change their name, both socially and work-wise. And in order to change your name, you have to front up to the bank. And often they talk about giving their marriage certificate that was still wrapped around with a ribbon. And you changed your name. And this doesn't happen anymore. So if you have separate accounts, what happens is that maybe you put a joint account together, but not necessarily in what is your married name. And so it's an in-between step where you have to control the boundaries of privacy. And then single parents, 11.3% of family households. But the step families and the blended families are not a statistically huge area. But for money, like a mountain, what do you keep separate for whom and what is joint for whom? And it's not just in the blended families, it's in migrant families, where one of them, often the man, is sending money home. But he then wants to keep a separate account for the sending money home issue, not necessarily wanting to share all the details all the time. And talk to an Iranian professional. And when they went to get a home loan, the teller, just printed out all the accounts he did. And the wife for the first time found out that her husband had a separate very embarrassed because this was a sending money home account. This was the way he was being a filial son. And he had to explain it. But he thought, why would a teller have infringed the boundaries of privacy to such an extent that he was put in a difficult spot? It becomes simpler if you're just one in terms of money. So what we are seeing is that at the center of customers' positive experience of internet banking is convenience and ease of use, and the ability to control and personalize the way they share information about money. And the concerns with internet banking rest more on people's perception that they don't have adequate control over their information rather than just the technological underpinnings of bank security. Thank you very much.